Hello and thanks again for joining me for another episode of Escape the Pacific. Carrying on here with my tutorial series, and in the last episode built this raft here. Now we want to take our first voyage, but I do want to get a couple more ropes before we go. So I've decided that we're going to sleep overnight, wait for some coconuts to fall down because we've only got one coconut tree left and we don't really want to chop that down. So we're just going to, if we have a sleep overnight, coconuts up there will drop and we won't need to chop down the tree to actually get to them. So I have spent a bit of time in between chopping down a bunch more of the trees around here, the little shrubs and bushes, and recollected a bunch more sticks. And let's have a look. I made another couple of these water collectors. Never have too many of them. So you can see down the bottom left hand corner it says I'm falling asleep, and there we go, eyelids are closing. You don't want to go in the water when that's happening. Now, we're not going to fall asleep unless it's dark. If you've got that thing where you're that tired, see our tiredness is at 100. If the sun's actually gone down, and it is starting to set over there, if the sun has actually gone down and you're falling asleep, then you will just drop and fall asleep where you're standing. And if you do that in the water, then you're going to drown. So you don't want to do that. So what we're going to do, just going to go over here. We're going to have a quick look. Our hunger, our thirst is okay. Yeah, our fruit's up. We might need to have a bit of a binge on fruit and then even out the land and the sea. So we're going to have a snooze here, and we're going to, so it isn't sunset yet, so we can't sleep till sunrise. So we'll sleep till sunset. And now the sun is definitely setting, and you can watch the sunset. It's really quite nice to watch, but it's early sunset. So we'll check our thirst again. It's okay. Let's have a quick look here. Our salt water's still evaporating. We'll just have a quick check, see if we've got any fish in the meantime. Yeah, we're over here somewhere. There we go. We got one in there. Careful not to go too deep while we're wearing our backpack. So we've got a couple more fish there. Pop them on the rack, and then we'll snooze again until sunrise. So I built a couple of extra racks as well, because some of them papayas are probably going to fall in the morning too. Pop these on here. Go back to our bed. Hit you. And we'll sleep until sunrise. Now, I did explain the last time, so our tiredness is ticking down. Night of bed's pretty good. So it is not yet sunrise, but we are 100% rested. So we could wake up now and we'd be fully rested. But we're going to wait till sunrise because we want the fruit to drop. So we're just going to wait for this time to pass. There we go. Now it is sunrise. You see those birds taking off from the rock over there. We will at a later date get some of them birds, but we need another small rope for that. So we'll do that in another episode. So have a run around here. We can see these coconuts here have dropped. Do want to make sure in the mornings, good idea to run around the perimeter of your island and just check for coconuts that have dropped, because you don't want them rolling off down into the ocean. They'll disappear. So we've got 3. Don't see any more on there. So don't see any that have rolled down the beach here. Alright, so we've got 3. We'll bring them over here, we'll drop them in there. Yeah, that's our stripped one that we've got left. Our salt is still evaporating. Alright, let's have a quick look. We've got papaya on the ground. You see it's got starting to get a little green dot on it next to the 20. And as that green goes up, that's the fruit going off. So we want to pick those up. See if there's any more papayas on the ground. There's still some in the tree. A couple in the tree there. We're going to leave them there. We can pick up this dry grass. We'll need that later on. Got those bananas if we want them, but don't really want them right now. Okay. Not seeing any more papaya on the ground. Another quick look around. Alright, so we'll pop these on the drying rack too. And that drying rack's full. Turn around to this one. Pop it on there. Alright. Now, if we have a look at this, it gives us 10 vitamin C. If we grab a dried one. Do have a dried one. And we have a look at that. It only gives us 8 vitamin C, 10 hunger. The fresh one gives us 20 hunger and 10 thirst. So we'll put the fresh one on there. We'll eat this one. So 10 hunger. That won't fill up any thirst for us, but it'll give us 8 vitamin C. You can see our fruit's gone up to 7. We might eat a couple of these bananas. We want to get our vitamin C up, so we're going to be plenty full. So just going to go you and you. Grab one more. Bananas don't give you that much. So now 100 vitamin C. Our land and our C is down. So I mean, our hunger is 0, but we do need to keep these sort of pretty diverse. So we're going to grab one of these salted ones, and we'll eat that. Grab a fish. What's our salt? Our salt's at 100, so we can grab an unsalted fish. So our C's going up to 4. Grab an unsalted meat. Our land's up to 4. Grab another fish. Eat that. And we'll just keep eating these until we've sort of evened it out. It's not really doing much evening out. There we go, 5 land, 3 sea, so I'll eat another fish or 2. Yep, one more. So you'll be constantly eating food to keep this, even though we're not hungry at all. Now that salt did make us thirsty. That's okay. So we've got our dew catchers here. They don't give you a lot. Pop that back in. So we're getting, I think, 10 from each one, maybe. Yep. Pop that in. Grab the next one. Alright. And grab another one. And another one. Alright, so our thirst is down to 11. Our diversity's at 100, our vitamin C's at 100, and our salt's at 100. So, we will go back over. Actually, I'll grab one of these empty coconuts here. Go back over and check our fish trap. Grab salt in the morning. Going to drop that because we don't want to take that in the water and fill it up with water while it's got salt in it. Yeah, traps are down here somewhere. Where's our traps gone? Too far over. There we go. A lot of fish in there. Grab all them out. And even if we don't eat these, we can use them for compost later on. So grab those. And we'll pick up our coconut. And while we're running across here, we're just checking the ground and making sure there's no more fruit on the ground. Other than the bananas, I'm not worried about them because the papayas are much better. So we're going to grab this salt and we'll pop it on one of these meat. Pop that back in there. Grab out our fish. Put them back on the rack. That rack's full. Okay. Alrighty. So now we've taken care of that. Going to pull out our axe. Do a bit of a sharpen. So just pick up a rock and whack it with a rock. Put it back in the belt slot. And whack these 3 coconuts that we just picked up. Give each of these husks 1 hit. Switch out to the knife. Back to our axe. One hit each. Switch out to our knife. And our axe again. One hit each on the husks. And the heartbeat's starting to go, so we'll just pick these up while we're waiting for our energy to regenerate a little bit. Alright. So pull out our knife. Finish these husks off. Okay. Pick these up. Pick up the last one using E so it's in our hand. Back down onto the sand like last time. Start making some ropes. So the reason we want to take some ropes with us is we don't know what we're going to find on the next island. And usually we're going to find a crate or two that we might want to bring back with us. And, you know, we're going to want to tie those down onto our raft so that we can bring them back. So just going to make as many ropes as I can. What do we got? Only one fibre left, so got enough here for two strong ropes. So I'll plonk down 2 strong ropes here. Pick those up. Alrighty. Thirst is okay, hunger's okay, everything's fine. Alright, our tools look good. Alright, so we're going to pop these ropes in here. May as well pop that last fibre in there. So there was our arrow. You'll find this on your starter island every time, and it'll be pointing to an island. But your islands are always going to be different depending on the seed that you spawn. It'll generate differently. So it's pointing there, and that's the first island over there that we should go to. And usually on that island we're going to find a map and a compass. So we're going to pick up our raft just with our right mouse button. We're going to use Q to point it in the direction of that island. Just going to be careful not to go too deep because we're wearing our pack. We can scroll out a bit with our mouse wheel. Want to make sure our raft is floating, but we don't want it so deep that we can't get on it. So I'll hop on. Okay. Now, I'm going to position myself in the middle of these two. I'm going to point down at the raft and we're going to hit U. And that's going to bring up that little UI down the bottom there. And if we hold W, so you can see it's got W and S. So hold down W, that's going to put our sail up. And we can see our rudder. So I'm in between these two masts. So we're going to turn our rudder around until our little crosshair in the middle there is pointed on the island. Then we're just going to hit left click and that's going to straighten up our rudder. Now, if you press right click, so you can see in the corner of that UI, you can see it says starter. Now, if you press right click, it'll go to beginner. And then you need to worry about adjusting which direction your sails are in. See, we can change that around. And that's going to depend on the wind. Then we can click it again and it goes to intermediate, which makes it even more difficult. And then advanced, and then expert. So I'm going to leave it on starter because it's pretty much automatic. But if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can try those. Now, we're standing up. While we've got this UI open, we're not going to move around on our raft. So just be careful if you hit escape. We are now walking around freely on our raft. And if we fall off of this while we're wearing our backpack, we're going to have to abandon our backpack and everything. And we'll probably end up losing our raft. So point down. We will hit U. And now we're locked in place. Okay. Now we can point down again and we can hold down E. And we'll sit down. Now while we're sitting, we can only turn like in a 180. We can't do a full 360 around us. So we're still heading to that island over there. We can see a couple of islands across there. We want to stand up. That's going to close our UI. So just be careful and make sure that we press U again so that we don't walk off the edge of our raft. So while we're standing, we can go a full 360, and we want to make sure that we know where we came from. That's our starter island. Got a couple of islands around us. So I'm just going to sit down again. And while we're sitting, you can see that there is, if we press U, it says wait. So if we do that, what that's going to do is that's going to speed up time for us. You can see we're now moving at a much faster pace. And so now there's not really much more to do, but wait until we get up close. So it's still nice and early in the morning. We've got a bit of a distance to travel. One of these islands would have been a bit closer, but we want to follow that arrow and collect our map and compass first before we start going off on any other little side adventures. So we're just going to cruise along, and what I might do is I might just pause the recording here for a moment, and I'll come back when we're a bit closer to the island, because even as we're travelling fast here, this can still take a little while. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I've just cut back. We're a little bit closer now. So I'm just going to cruise on in here. I'm glad that we did wait for those coconuts, get a couple of ropes, because there are no trees on this island by the looks of it. So you can see a couple of big rocks there. Looks like this is just going to have rocks on it. You can see a shipwreck over there. So we're cruising on up. I'm going to hit U to stop the fast travelling, and I'm also going to stand up, and I'm also going to hit U again to get back into our UI, because we don't want to step off just yet. And as we come up to the shore, I'm going to start bringing our sails down with S. Looks like we've beached out anyway. Edge a little bit closer. No, that's about as far as we're going to go by the looks of it. Alright, so we're going to bring our sails down till they go flat. Like that. And we're going to hit escape. Just going to drag our raft up a little bit, because we're going to want to probably tie some stuff on here later on, and we don't want it bobbing up and down while we're trying to do that. Okay, so we are now on our second island. So we're going to have a run around the edge, see what we can find. Shells. We don't need shells, although there is an achievement to pick up a bunch of shells. You can do that if you want. Over here looks like we've got a bucket. That's a good find. Now these buckets, we can't fit it in our bag. Now if you look at, okay, so everything has a weight and a volume. So our backpack, we can carry things that have a weight value of up to 10 and up to 3 in our side bag. Our pockets, we can't carry much at all. So the weight is obviously how much it weighs. The volume is how big it is. Now if we have a look at this bucket, and I'm going to empty it. Don't need a bucket full of salt water. So if we look at our bucket, it only has a weight of 2, but it has a volume of 100. We can't fit it in our bags or our pockets. We can only carry it in our hand, which means we can only carry it at once. There's a little chest here as well. Same thing with that. So we'll come back for that. Come over here. We do want this bucket. It's going to be handy. And you can see our crate here. They call it a small crate, but really it's the biggest crate in the game. I'm going to pop that in there, and that takes up You know, we've got 432 volume that we can fit in here. We can still fit, you know, 17.3 or whatever of weight. So that's in our crate there. So we're going to come back around. And there's a small crate here. Going to hit you to see what's inside. And there's our compass. So we're going to drag that down here. And it goes there. And also got a map. Going to drag that down. And that goes there. That's all that's in there. This only carries a weight of 5 and a volume of 10. It's not really that useful. We can pick it up if we want to. Now over here, we find these statues around. There was one on our starter island which was kind of knocked over. These point, see it's kind of got a face like the Easter Island heads. And they kind of face towards somewhere, to a place of interest, apparently. But I never really worried too much about them. We'll pick that up and we'll carry that back. We're probably not going to take this with us. We'll probably find better ones. Just going to plonk it up on this rock here. And so with your right mouse button, if you press your left click while you're doing that, it'll straighten it up. Put it the right way up. Just going to drop that there. Head back on over here and keep going around the outside of the island along the shore. See another crate over here. That's a medium chest. A couple of things in there. Not that useful, but we'll take that. See another crate over there. So we can only carry one of these at a time. So carry this back over. And plonk this over here as well. Once we've collected everything, we'll sort out what we want to take with us. So we can take 2 of these crates or chests back with us. We've only got 2 ropes. So we're over here. There we go, there's a crate here. Okay, that's got quite a few goodies in it. We'll pick that up. And there's some more stuff over there. So, I think, well, we've got a barrel. We want to grab that. See the mast of our boat straight through here, so we're just going to cut straight through here. Going to plonk that down. Head back over. Getting a bit puffed out, so we're just going to walk. Alright. Barrels are good. That's got fresh water in it. So we're going to carry this over. So I'll end up probably taking one of these crates and the barrel. Now water in barrels does go bad. I'm going to put it over here in the shade. What's our thirst like? 15. And take a drink out of that straight away. Water in barrels will go bad over time. So they're not that great for water. They do carry a lot of water, but the water will go bad. But for now, it'll do us good. Alright, so now we've got these crates over here. Did I miss anything else here? Okay. This is under the water, but there's a campfire there, and there's an old iron axe. We'll pick that up. It's a bit worn out. We can sharpen that up by hitting it with a rock. Now, sometimes if you find a campfire like this, have a look around it, because every now and then when you find one, there will be an axe near it. And here we go, skeleton and a chest. So we're going to open up this little chest. It's got a note in it. We're going to equip that. We're going to hold down our right mouse button And this will be different each time, or each playthrough. So, on a far located island in the northwest is where we're going to find a shipwreck with a sextant and a watch. Well, a sextant. I don't think we get a watch, but anyway. So, I'm going to put that away. We can pick up this chest. I'm just going to sit this chest up here. We're probably not going to take this little small ones, they're useless. But I'll put it up there just to mark where that skeleton is because it's a bit hard to see. Now these chests here, or these crates, there's nothing in these so we can't open them. But what we can do with these ones is we can break them down into planks, which we can use to build stuff with. So I'm just going to plonk that over here. There was a couple there. Now, where was it? Over here. That one. So plonk that over here too. Have a look around for any more. Is there another one laying around? Usually you find like 3 or so. There's one there, you can barely see it. We can pick that up. Okay. So I don't see anything else. At least not on the land. So just going to plonk that over there. Alrighty. Let's have another quick look. See that we didn't miss anything. Not seeing anything here. That's the little chest that we got the note out of. Alright. Yeah, there is a shipwreck there. So, before we go in the water, what we're going to do is pop that in our bag. We're going to drop our bags off. And we're going to go for a swim. So we're just going to head straight out towards that ship. Water's a bit murky. Diving in this does give me the willies a bit. And you can see the white line up top there is our oxygen. And the red line is our health. If we run out of oxygen, we'll start losing health. Now, if we get up here, and you just let go of all your controls, spin our mouse down, and we can sort of just sit here bobbing up and down in the water without losing any breath. We can have a look and see what we can spot on the surface of the ship. So you can see there's a bunch of those barrels there. We can't pick those up. There are some crates that can't be picked up. A little bit dark. Maybe later on in the day when it's a bit more sunny, we'd be able to see a bit better. So if I cruise on down here, now these crates here, you can't pick them up. What we're looking for is a chest like that. Now you don't want to press E to pick that up. You want to grab it by holding down your right mouse button. If you press E to pick it up, it's going to weigh you down. And you're going to have a pretty hard time trying to swim to the surface and make it back to the island. But if you grab it by holding down your right mouse button you should be able to swim back to shore. So we're just going to cruise back up here. Plonk that on the ground. Have a quick peek inside. Couple of things. We've got a hammer. These are candle holders and lantern holders. We'll put them on our raft later on when our raft has walls to put them on. Okay. So we'll go back out again. Usually there'll probably be maybe two things to pick up on your first shipwreck. Some of the deeper ones will have 3. Running out of puff a bit. Let's have a look. There was another one down there somewhere. Is a bit murky. Let's just go down. Can't pick that one up. Can't pick up any of them barrels. Can't pick that one up. There's a crate there. So same thing again. Hold down our right mouse button. And we'll just swim back to shore with that. Running out of energy again. Alright, so have a quick look in there. A few things in there too. Not going to be able to take all this stuff home. Let's put our gear back on. Let's take all this stuff out of here. Put it in there. I might swap that over. So you see this has 126 volume, 20 weight. This only has 60. So the ones that we make are the best ones, where they do take up a lot more room. And then these are the next best ones. But they do take up more room than those medium chests. So I'll carry this over here. Plonk that down there. We will go pick up that other one and put it over near the rest of our stuff. We're only going to be able to take 2 things back with us, but we can come back and get the others if we want them. So that one's empty. Take that stuff out. Pop that in there. That one there. Okay, so not going to fit much more in that one. Let's see what we've got here. Let's take some of these smaller things out of here. Put them in this one. Yeah, these candle holders here, I never use them, so pop this stuff in there instead. So I'm not going to fit much more else in there. I'll pop these in that tiny chest and leave them behind. So what do we get left in here? Fit what we can in here. I think we're pretty much full. Put the rest in here. Take out our ropes. Alright, so I believe that one's now empty. That's empty. That one's empty. These ones got nothing in them. We'll break them down. And that one's got stuff in it. Okay, so we're going to pick that up. Plonk that down. I'm going to spin it around. And we're just going to attach that with our rope. We want to take that barrel with us. So we're going to plonk that down and pull out our other rope. Now, did I not take out both? I didn't. Okay. So we're going to tie down our barrel. And, alright. So, I'm going to pull out my hammer. I'm going to hit one of these medium rocks. And got nothing. Alright. I'm going to pick that rock up. I'm going to put it on top of this one. Going to try that again. Smack that down. There we go. That's what I wanted. Small rock. Going to drop this axe that we found. And there's a bit of a glitch there. Going to drag it over here. Don't want to lose it. Going to whack that with our rock. It's at 50%. 96%. Drop the rock. Pick up the axe. Pop it in our belt slot. Alright. So now we're going to whack on these ones. Break these down into planks. Just going to spam P to put them all in our bag. Break this one down as well. Spam P. Cruise over here and pop those in. Got room for a few more, so we'll break down the other one. Pop those in there. Got 12. Not going to fit them in here, I don't think. No. No, we fit one in there. Alright, we'll keep the rest in our bag. That's fine. Okay. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to hit M. Just cruise on over here. So now, I think that was our island over there. So if we hit M, it brings up our map that we just picked up. If we hit shift, hold down shift and click over here, this is the island that we're on. I'm just going to call that M and C. It's map and compass. That's where we picked up the map and compass. Alright, so now we're going to hold down our right mouse button. And we're just going to go around, and I clicked left click there. I'm going to go around the horizon. It's a question mark. We left click it. You can see lines getting added to our map. It's going to keep going around. So we've done the full circle. Now if you're on a bigger island you might need to walk around to the other side of the island. But we pretty much reach them all from here. Just click all the ones that have got a question mark. And now we're back to the start. Okay, so it doesn't actually mark the islands there. We need to go to another island and triangulate, and then it'll actually mark them. So we're going to hit M again to put our map away. I'm going to pick up our raft. I'm going to scroll it out with the mouse wheel a fair distance away as far as I can from our body, and hold down Q, or you could do E to spin it round. So it's facing back in the way we came from. Plonk it down. And I need to put it a bit deeper out. But careful not to put it too deep that we can't get to it. She's still resting on the rudder there. It's a little bit deeper. That looks good. Jump up on. Hit U again. And hold down W till our sails come fully out. And we head home. So I think I had my rudder across, so we'll just straighten up. Okay, so I'm just going to pause through the trip. It's nothing really eventful, and I'll come back to you in just a moment. Okay, so back at our starter island. Cruise on back in here. Bring our sails down with S. Hit escape. Drag her forward a bit so she's not bobbing up and down. Alrighty. So first thing we're going to do is going to grab our bucket. Going to come over here. Drop that on the ground. Pick up that coconut from there. Pick up this bucket and put that bucket in there. Pick up that coconut as well. We're just going to plonk these coconuts down here. If it rains, they'll fill up with rainwater. We also picked up a cooking pot there. So we're going to pop that in as well, because it's a lot bigger than the coconut. They'll collect more water than the coconuts will. And we're going to detach a barrel with holding down our left mouse button. Put our rope back in our bag. Pick up that barrel. Now, shade in this game does make a difference. So, you build a shelter. We're going to pop this barrel under our bed. It'll help our water stay fresh for a little bit longer. And there we go. So that was our first trip. So what I'm going to do, this has been a bit of a long episode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unload that crate there. I'm going to sail back to the island and pick up the other two chests and bring them back. But I'll do that off camera. And in the next episode, we'll go through some of the stuff that we picked up. And that's going to do it for this episode. So if you did enjoy this episode, please leave me a like or a comment down below. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.